John, there's a lot of confusion in the market at the moment. Can you help us understand where we're at and where are we going?
Look, I think it's a really interesting time in the market. We saw a really significant rise of about 40, in some instances 45% over the last few years. And of course, it's been well documented by the media over the last 12 months-ish. We've seen about a 20%, 15 to 20% correction. So the good news is most people that have a property are still up 20% on what the value was a few years ago. The bad news is some people are concerned about, oh, I missed the peak of the market, which is true. But I think when you look at it over the property ownership, most people are still well ahead right now. And even those that bought a year ago and perhaps have technically suffered a loss in the value, over the next few years, property prices double in Sydney every 7 to 8 years. So they're going to do very well out of their investment. So I think people just have to take the panic out of the situation, and if you find a house you love, buy it at fair price. If you're looking to sell, give it to a great agent, have a good marketing plan, and you'll get a solid price.
So where do you see us going over the next 12 months, John?
If we look at the last 6 corrections in Sydney, we saw about an 8.5% average decline in values, and it lasted about 18 months. As I've just said, that 8.5% is now, we're well beyond that. So technically, I think we're kind of close to the bottom of the market. In terms of timing, you know, the average one's lasted 18 months. We're in about 12 months into this. I think we might have another 6 to 12 months of feeling like we feel today, which is, you know, a little bit of a soft market, but not too bad. I think as we move forward next year, there's a couple of interesting things that are going to happen. About 25% of the big banks' loans are fixed interest home loans, which means people a few years ago locked in a certain rate, and most of it was around 2 to 2.5%. Now, as they mature, of course, and the interest rate environment has changed dramatically, we're going to see them having to renegotiate a fixed interest loan at around about 6.5%. So for a lot of people out there that have borrowed on those fixed interest rates, and it's quite a large number, they're going to have to reevaluate. Do they want to keep the property? Are they able to afford a new loan at a higher level? And they're going to have to talk to their lenders or their banks and find a solution. So I think that is the greatest challenge for the market over the next 12 months. Having said that, we're also going to see a large influx of money from overseas buyers. We've got Asia, who was a major contributor to immigration prior to COVID, and I think a lot of Asian countries, including China, are going to be coming back into Australia either to live or to invest. So we're going to see a significant spike in new entrants to the market, including expats reinvesting. We're going to see some pain with people having to refinance or indeed sell. So I think those things will probably balance themselves up. Everyone is waiting for the Reserve Bank to stabilise interest rates. The rates have been going up and up and up, and it's like death by 1,000 cuts. Everyone's waiting till there's a stabilisation point where the Reserve Bank says, we're at a rate now we feel we can hold rates at these levels. Once that happens, I think there is going to be an influx of buyers back in that now know how much they're going to have to pay for their loans and can even fix rates for the future. How do you balance all those up? I think we're going to see 6 to 12 months of a little bit of continued uncertainty, a little bit of fear in the market, but gradually confidence is going to come back in. At the end of that, I think there might be a little bit of a positive pop in terms of prices. What we generally find is market goes up, then it comes down, then it'll kind of come up a bit, then plateau. So I think we're sort of 6 to 12 months before we see sort of any pressure on prices to come up.
John, we're predominantly an auction market. Do you still subscribe to the fact that auctions are the best method to sell a property?
Look, I think in any market, people that are selling, they need to get a few things right. They need to choose the right agent, someone that's got a track record for getting great results. They need to ensure they price the property properly with their agent as they enter the market. They need a strong marketing campaign, because at the end of the day, the more buyers you can attract to a property, the better price you're going to get. And they need to decide on their methodology. Do you go private treaty or auction? Even in a market that's come off a bit, I find the auction method is the most successful and effective. And we've had a lot of results, even as the market was declining, great results where we've had the right number of buyers that created competitive tension and ended up in a really strong result. So my view is almost any market, almost any property in the inner suburbs of Sydney, beautiful areas such as we're in today, I think that auction is the most effective way of moving forward. Some people like off-market. They think in a market that's not as strong as it was, off-market gives them a sense of privacy. I think you go to the market, you go with confidence, you go with the right agent, you go with a strong marketing campaign. The goal is to create competitive tension. Only when you have competitive tension can you maximise price. And I think the auction process really effectively delivers that. And of course you still have the option to sell before, at or after the auction. So there's still some flexibility with regard to the auction process.